Hey everybody, it's Lynn from A Bit of Birdsong. I wanted to show you the journal that I made from the fabric fun packs that I listed yesterday. Sorry I did not have more of those. It's harder to create a huge amount or a moderate amount of fun packs when you're dealing with fabric because most pieces of fabric are not that large, and once you cut them into like 12 pieces, you really don't have that much. Anyway, I took the large piece of fabric from that sample and just laid it over a piece of heavy paper that I would have done art on. And then you can see on the outside, I have put this beautiful trim that was in the pack. And I made a topper for the journal with just things that I had, bits of lace, and I used some flower petals. Carolyn, I think you sent me these little pieces of flowers, I think. Is that right? Anyway, I sewed those on, and we have another one of these metal rings that I sewed into place. And the beads that came off of the wire, I put 6 to 8 beads on each string from binding in 3 signatures. So that's 6 strings or cords out here, and each one has 6, 7, 8 beads, something like that. You can see underneath this, I've layered fabric. On this end of the ribbon, you can see I just folded it under to make it more narrow at the end and slipped it through one of these latches or belt clips or buckles that I had, and then sewed it to the journal. So that makes a nice closure. It is heavy. You have to be careful flopping this thing around because you don't want to hit yourself in the face or the teeth, gotta be careful. Anyway, getting inside, this is just another large journal. There's a pocket here and glued in a little picture there. And I used my trim throughout, and if you will notice, there is almost clean, I've already started working again, there's almost clean paper on the desk. So I took up the paper that had been there for the last 2 months or whatever and used it to make some of the journal pages. And I have created ruffles or used the ruffles that were already in the pack to sew to the edges of some of the pages. And what I do a lot of times is just go over the thread with some sort of tape, like washi tape or masking tape, the paper tape that I love to use. And you can see the paper tore a little bit right here. I am not afraid to tape over things, to repair things, to glue a piece of paper or a piece of fabric in the center. It's just going to make it more pretty, in my opinion. Prettier, I should say. There's a large piece of paper. Let's see. No, that one won't really fold that way. Just it folds like that. Another pocket here. And again, if something rips, just tape it. So this is the paper that had been folded, if you remember. And it's been pretty much impossible to get that crease out. I didn't want to mess with it too much because it's going to tear the paper. But, that can be fixed. Yeah, I love it. The crinklier, the better. So I did make some ruffles with some of just the plain off-white cotton. More paper here from the art desk. And it's just got all sorts of, it looks like that one might even be upside down. Of course, sometimes there's no direction to some of this stuff on the desk. And on in this page, if you will, I just glued that beautiful piece of fabric with the flowers. Things like this can be inspiration for your other pages. You could just look at the design and try to do something like that yourself with watercolors and pens or pencils. It's really fun to be inspired by something and try it yourself. I think this is one of the ones that will fold either way, just depending on what you want to do with that. And then here's one of the fabric samples, and I gathered up some of the ribbon to sew across the top there, and there's a little writing spot underneath. And then there's some of the Tim Holtz fabric with the letters on it. And here we are at the last page. I used a safety pin to put my pouch in, and I need to do that a little better. The pouch I put in this one is, the ribbon has torn away from underneath the like the hem that was made for it, or that little casing. So I had just taken a safety pin. There's a pretty little image in there. Okay, I brought over a split ring. Let's see if we can just put this on here. Here we go. And that ring's kind of big for that, but that's okay because we're not making jewelry or anything. This is just a charm and a junk journal. So let's put it through here. And there, and then it's put in with a safety pin, and then that's on the front. So that's that. And the only thing left for me to do is put my birdsong stamp on the back. And there's one in here floating around. I made one for it. I just haven't put it in yet. And of course, I will need to remove this pouch before I do that. I went ahead and put my birdsong stamp on the back, and you can see inside that it looks a lot fuller. I went ahead and just gently folded all of the leftover materials and put them inside the journal to go with the journal. And it is listed in my Ko-Fi shop or coffee shop. I've heard both. What do you think it's called? Maybe I should look it up and find out what the official name is. Okay, bye for now.